Hey folks, how's it going? I'm Randy with Templar, and today we bring to you a Catholic VR review of Final Space VR The Rescue, rated teen. A video on the breakdown of these faith-related views is in the description below. Now, let's get started. According to the official description, the Final Space universe has expanded to VR. Join Gary, Avocado, Nightfall, and Tribor as they embark on a brand new journey to rescue their friend from the clutches of a new but familiar threat. Take on this shooter adventure solo or online with up to 3 friends. Use your arsenal of weapons to reign supreme and show the galaxy who's boss. If you're into the Final Space series on TBS, then you'll definitely enjoy this game. It makes for a fun shooter as well, and it's also pretty cheap. The Final Space humor is on point, but that being said, it means it's not very suitable for younger children. The game consists of 3 levels or stages in a story mode with 3 difficulty levels. As the description says, you choose between 4 of the Final Space stars: Gary, Avocado, Nightfall, or Tribor. You can play solo or multiplayer, but unfortunately I couldn't find anyone to group with in the random matching. For the pros, I think Final Space VR is a good addition to the Final Space universe. I didn't even know about the show until I saw this game, but afterward I watched it and really enjoyed it. To me, it's kind of an Adult Swim-like show, but if it was, it would be one of the cleanest. The show can be kind of violent, but the game isn't. It's actually hardly violent at all, as you blast the robots called Sames and the mutated creature things called Crawlers. I guess I'd say another pro of the game is that it's kind of cheap, and leaves expansion on the story in the form of either more content or a sequel. For the cons, Final Space VR unfortunately doesn't have enough content to keep you around for very long. Yes, it does have a good story that can be experienced as 4 different characters and played on 3 different difficulty levels, but there are only 3 parts. It really doesn't take that long to get through. The only other content of the game is a shooting range, where you can try to best the 3 default scores to earn an achievement, but that's about it. This leads to my second con, which is that it seems unlikely that you'll find a multiplayer game. I checked multiple times on any level, on any difficulty, but I never found anyone else looking. This is a new game though, so they can always add more content if they want. Now for the ratings. For gameplay and feel, I give Final Space VR an A. In this regard, it is a great game. I love the gun selection and the way they work, and really the way everything else feels in general. The only thing is the potential for some motion sickness due to the movement, but some vignetting options are available. For purpose and depth, I give Final Space VR a C. This is again due to the lack of content and the inability to play multiplayer unless you know others who own the game. Some type of scoring system in the levels could also be helpful in this regard. It would be nice to at least have the ability to invite friends who don't have the game to come play with you, then you can maybe play at least some form of the multiplayer. Either this or use a Discord where people can go offline to find a group, but this is kind of tedious. I'll reiterate though that the game is relatively cheap, so it isn't exactly boasting robust content in the first place. For the truth rating, I give Final Space VR a B. This is mostly due to the overall metaphysics behind the TV series itself, which actually doesn't make its way into the game, but I'm not sure if the two can be separated completely. When it comes to the game itself, there really isn't anything to worry about. Finally, for the moral rating, I give Final Space VR an A. While it has some vulgar content in it, I feel like the game and the series as a whole does a good job of making mature content that isn't unbearably immoral. This is the reason I enjoyed the show so much, and the game was even less of a problem. You'll still have to deal with Tribor, which is probably the most immoral part of all, but not any game or show is perfect these days. On top of that, the blasting of sames and mutated space creatures really isn't a moral topic. So I say that for a more mature audience, Final Space VR has a great story. So overall, I give Final Space VR The Rescue a B+. Since it is a new game, this can always be salvaged, but the lack of content that leads to the inability to find a multiplayer game is kind of a killer. That being said, the game is still quite fun for what it is, and anyone who enjoys the Final Space series will definitely enjoy Final Space VR. For the minimum age recommended, Final Space VR is a game suitable for people 17 to 18 and up. The game is rated teen, and while the content is probably teen-worthy in a secular culture, I think it pushes the bill a little too far. But a case may be made for mature 15 or 16-year-olds, because the game is cleaner than the series itself. Thanks for watching. Please give a like if the review of Final Space VR was helpful, or if you just enjoyed it, and please be sure to subscribe. And leave your thoughts in the comments below on any VR games that you would like to see reviewed here. For now, I'm Randy. This is Nerds Templar. Peace.